Welcome, basketball fans, to 2K Sports. I'm Damon Bruce. Wednesday in the NBA. It'll be Steven Jackson and the Milwaukee Bucks facing off against Tony Parker and the San Antonio Spurs. And now time to hand things over to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. I'll be back at halftime.
And the players looking relaxed. Some playful discussion prior to tip-off. Thanks for tuning in this Wednesday. 2K Sports presents the NBA. Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. The crowd here in anticipation of their home team Spurs in an interconference battle here at the AT&T Center in San Antonio. Here are the starters for Milwaukee, all brought to you by State Farm. Drew Gooden and Andrew Bogut, they're inside. Steven Jackson is out there with Jennings, and it's Red in at the small forward. And for San Antonio, McDyess and Duncan, they're inside. Parker and Manu are the backcourt, and it's Leonard in at the small forward.
Well, you look at last season, guys, the Spurs had the best record in the Western Conference, almost unbeatable at home, where they were 36-5.
Now Jackson. Picked up by Ginobili. Jackson kicks to Jennings. Poke loose. Parker with the steal.
Great defensive work right there. The quick hands lead to the turnover. Finger roll. That's pure style, guys. I like that.
We talk about the San Antonio crowd, one of the most terrific fan bases of any sports franchise. They're just so much in love with everything this franchise does.
Yeah, really, when you think about it, those fans, I mean, the Spurs are their pride and joy. I mean, they're enthusiastic, knowledgeable, and the most successful small market team in the league is San Antonio. So the bond between the team and the community is really something special. It's neat to see.
Clark, I said any sport, and I do believe it. You talk Green Bay fans and New York Giant fans, and you're talking about a bond. That's a great word to use, bond. There is a bond between the team and the fans.
Yeah, big time connection.
Doris Burke had a chance to catch up with head coach Scott Skiles, and Doris, what did he have to say?
Kevin, he said basically rebounding is as much about energy and effort, and getting to the offensive glass is exactly what he hopes to see. They've already proven to be a great offensive rebounding team, and he'd like to see that reputation grow just a little bit more today, gentlemen.
All right, Doris, thank you. So Clark, an early focus on crushing the boards here.
That's always, Kevin, a big part of winning basketball is doing a good job on the glass. So many advantages come from owning the glass on both ends of the court.
Here is Jennings. He's picked up by Parker. Outside Jackson. Three-pointer. The shot's good. Jennings making the play.
You know what? That was good defensive effort. But on a shooter like him, sometimes it just isn't enough.
And as usual, Steven Jackson last season, among the league leaders in technical fouls. He's always been a very volatile player. He ended up tied for second most in the league with 15.
Here's Red. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Red's got 5 points so far. Parker kicks to Ginobili. Jacks up a three. San Antonio again missing. You know, speaking of Steven Jackson, Steve, he's one of those mile-a-minute guys. Clark, a gregarious guy in the locker room, but the more you talk to the refs, it's just natural. The more technicals you're likely to get.
Well, it's a challenge to rein him in. He's so emotional. You don't want him to feel you're taking the other side. You also want to make sure he's not getting distracted. So you got to pick your spot.
All alone, the big jump at the end of the break.
Hey, don't let that size deceive you now. He can get to the rim as good as anybody.
Well, he doesn't mess around once he gets there, that's for sure.
No, guys, he loves to throw it down with some style.
He kicks it to Bogut. Duncan is there. Bogut kicks to Gooden. Over McDyess. Makes the most of the high percentage shot. And that'll tie this game up.
Smart. He's just using his size advantage to get his shot off.
And a sweet stroke, too, you might add. You know, the story with Milwaukee last year was a team that just struggled to score the ball, Kevin. I mean, nobody was able to consistently put it in the basket for him. He's got so many ways to hurt you. I mean, he is really an offensive force out there.
Jennings against Parker. Good in the pass to Bogut. Easy shot, and it's another Milwaukee shot right there going in. And Clark, on that note, only 6 Bucks in double-digit scoring averages last year, with Jennings, the fleet-footed Jennings, topping the list at 16.
You know, it's just the fact that the top scorer was only at 16 a game.
Yeah, and Jennings was shooting about 40%, so that's part of the problem. He takes a lot of shots. He doesn't always make them. So usually you need your top scorers to be high-percentage shooters. It allows you to get back defensively, and it allows you to really be able to count on somebody night after night.
Both teams deciding to change it up. And he makes the first, but misses the second.
Andrew Bogut, the former #1 overall pick in the 2005 draft out of the University of Utah. Been an excellent player for Milwaukee, a solid center out of Australia.
Here's Jennings. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Leonard with the steal. Fast break. Here we go. There's 38 seconds left in the first. And Bogut, some people think he's probably the best Australian player in NBA history. It's hard to disagree. Luke Longley is from Australia, but Bogut spent a lot on the ball.
Yeah, and beyond that, Kevin, I think he can be one of the top couple of big guys in the league if he can just be healthy. If he can rebound, block shot, and score at a high level.
Ginobili outside, covered by Douglas Roberts. And it's Ginobili finishing it off.
That's got a lot of flavor right there, y'all. That's a big-time dunk.
I mean, what else can you say?
Nothing. We just got to stand back and admire it. Wow.
Special thanks to the camera crew as well for giving us that last Sprite slam cam. And they're scoring pretty well. We conclude the first quarter. Spurs lead by 6.
It was a pretty solid first quarter for this club. They limited their mistakes and really took advantage offensively.
You know what? I like what I've seen from them on the other end, forcing a few giveaways. That's excellent pressure and good activity with the hand.
And we'll return momentarily.
I'm the best, don't have to practice. Double team, don't have to pass it. Ball hard in my
and the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And now brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the court for San Antonio. Green out there with Gary Neal. Then it's Matt Bonner. Then it's Jefferson. And it's Novak in at the 4-man position. From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Guys, Tony Parker, a great point guard, but like the Spurs team in general, he's often overlooked. He said, when there is talk about the best point guards, sometimes they don't talk about me. But that's not my main motivation. They can talk about Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, Darren Williams, and Chris Paul. I still have the most rings. And fellas, like they always say, the ring's the thing.
Well, Doris, you can't argue with that.
You know, and his story may be like those artists who aren't actually appreciated in their time. He doesn't get the attention now, but championships are the type of achievement that really live on. Now, the Bucks had all kinds of problems last year. they really didn't do a good job against the Western Conference. In fact, they failed to even reach double-digit wins against Western Conference opponents.
Jefferson, that's good.
Guys, that's what he does. I mean, he excelled at getting to the rim.
Down low, here's Red. Soft touch off the glass. Red's got 7 points in the game.
Didn't take long to get that hoop.
Guys, they sure made the D look slow that time.
Back to that point Steve was making with the Bucks in the West. Western teams have no problem scoring.
Well, it starts with, one, the talent that's out in the Western Conference across the board, and then style of play. The Bucks, on the other hand, had all sorts of problems putting up points, and it just made for a bad combination. Playing and trying to beat the West and not being able to score, that's a recipe for not being successful.
Looking at who's out there now for the Bucks. Andrew Bogut, he's checked in for Gooden. Ilyasova comes in for Chris Douglas-Roberts. And Mbamute comes in for Michael Redd. Bucks trail by 3. Back to Jackson. Left side Jackson. It's tipped. Lays out of bounds. And they'll keep possession. The Spurs. Making a switch here. Here is Boykins. He's picked up by Parker. 4 on the shot clock. With 1 on the clock. And Jackson with the basket on the assist by Boykins. 8 points for Steven Jackson. Parker kicks to Jefferson. Passes to Neal. Here's Parker. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. And the Spurs lead by 3.
You know, I'm thinking one of the things that really makes Parker so dangerous is that he has such a...
Here's another look with the Sprite Slam King.
There isn't anybody in the building that didn't appreciate that.
Well, Steve, that's as fancy a finish as you could possibly get.
A serious degree of difficulty on that one.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game.
Boy, it really had to be deflating for the Spurs after winning 61 games in the regular season to be bounced out of the playoffs by the Grizzlies in the first round. And it raised some interesting and difficult questions for them moving forward.
Looking at who's out there now for the Bucks. Drew Gooden has checked in for Ilyasova. Red comes in for Steven Jackson. And it's Jennings in for Earl Boykins. Shots good from Mbamute. Going back, Clark, to that first-round upset, the second time an 8th seed has ever won in a 7-game series. And Spurs were thoroughly outplayed, Steve, by the Memphis Grizzlies. Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol. What a collection Grizzlies got by him.
Yeah, that didn't feel like an 8th seed, did it? I mean, Randolph and Gasol so down. In the front court, and then I thought Memphis's defense was really good too. But the Spurs, as well as they played the regular season, just didn't have it in the playoffs. I think they needed an infusion of some young talent there in San Antonio.
Outside Jennings, and another 3 for Milwaukee.
Boy, that's too easy. You cannot let a shooter that good get a warm-up jump shot like that. If you do that, it'll be raining all day from out there.
Here's Neal, guarded by Red. McDyess, covered by Bogut. McDyess dishes to Parker. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own. Parker's got 7 now in this quarter. And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin. Well, Greg Popovich has talked often about where he would be without the likes of Tim Duncan. He said that having a superstar that's willing to be coached makes all the difference in the world. And he knows a lot of the success is based on Tim Duncan saying, I would be coaching a third-grade team somewhere in America. Not sure that's true, guys, but it's nice to see a coach. With 4 rings, stay that humble. Back to you.
Thank you, Doris. I would say Coach Popovich sold himself a little bit short. He's a very humble guy and very well respected.
He sure is. He knows how much Duncan does out there, but we all know what a great coach Pop is.
Well, guys, it was the best start in franchise history for the Spurs last season. They got to 40 wins before the end of January. That was a team first, and finished with the second-best record in the league, 61 wins.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Leonard, he's checked in for Jefferson. And it's Ginobili in for Gary Neal. And then for Milwaukee, Ilyasova, he's checked in for Bogut. Douglas Roberts comes in for Mbamute. And it's Dueling in for Drew Gooden. So, Steve, a team he used to play for, the Spurs, essentially a 50-win team for the last 13 seasons, including when you played for them, but they may be nearing the end of their championship window. At least some people think that. How about you?
Well, even Tony Parker said over the summer that he didn't think the Spurs could win a championship anymore. So what a run it's been. 50-win seasons, 13 times in a row. Just incredible. They'll still be very competitive, but this is not a championship team any longer.
And Leonard gets it to go. Leonard's got 9.
That's exactly what they had in mind on that possession.
And here's the fast break. Takes it up. Ginobili. That's good. And it's a 7-point Spurs lead.
They're just trying to get out and outrun their opponent. And that's exactly what's happening.
And I like the way the game plan is working quite nicely right now. I mean, they're running right by him and racking up a bunch of fast break points.
Here's San Antonio. They lead by 7. Red with the steal.
And they'll slow it down, use a little clock.
Good call, partner. Hold it for the final one.
He's covered by McDyess. Red's shot is right there.
Boy, this is scary. You get a score rolling like this, you're in some trouble.
Yeah, you can't leave a guy like that on an island. I mean, you got to bring some help.
Now, that was just a heave down court. I don't like their chances.
Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching.
Happy Wednesday to you. Let's keep...
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. Here's Ginobili on the court for the Bucks. Drew Gooden and Andrew Bogut, they're inside. Jennings out there with Steven Jackson. And it's Red in at the 3 spot.
Tell you what, his vertical skills are outstanding. He can fly.
He just proved it, too.
And not only that, he's got the dexterity and composure to go along with those hops. He's quite a player.
Well, a disappointing playoff performance last season for San Antonio. Of the big 3, Manu Ginobili was the only one who managed to play well against the Grizzlies.
Spurs leading by 4. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play. Going back to Ginobili, he played well in the playoffs despite that hyper-extended elbow. Steve, you remember that huge brace he wore?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't get as much attention as what Rajon Rondo went through with his elbow injury, but Ginobili showing every bit as much of toughness as Rondo. I mean, that was impressive. And he was going at Tony Allen and vice versa in that series. Very, very physical confrontation between those two.
Knocked loose. Kicks it out to Jennings. The tray hits the bucket. Jennings has got 8 points.
Well, that's a quality look there. The defense a bit late.
And 2 straight now from long range, putting up points in a hurry, Clark. Now still a great start to the half after hitting their first 3, even before that miss.
When you see somebody having a game like this from a turnover standpoint, it's almost impossible to win as a team.
Took him no time at all on that one. Jefferson's got his second basket. Bucks trail by 8.
And, guys, last season the expectations for Milwaukee were really high. But they just couldn't live up to those hopes. They won only 13 games away from home all year. And when you can't win on the road, you can't really be a successful NBA team.
Leonard, he's checked in for the Spurs. Here's Jennings. 8 points for him. Covered by Parker. Steven Jackson on the wing. Fires from deep. Gets it to go. Jackson's got 6 in the quarter. Back to the Bucks. Clark, you'd better play well on the road if you want to make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a must. I mean, you got to be really solid and good at home and then respect.
And he slams it home. Here's the replay on the Spark Slam King.
Yes, indeedy. Boy, I love that one. That's not just... any plain dunk. That has some panache to it.
That's an energizer, guys. That is an energizer.
That is, and that will lift the whole team up.
Red. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Well, Milwaukee, going into last season, guys, really looked to be on the upswing. And they had made the playoffs the previous year. They had a nice group of young players. But the free agent acquisitions that they made really didn't pan out.
Chris Douglas-Roberts checked in for the Bucks. Good on both. Back to what Steve was saying about the Bucks. They did make some moves. It just didn't pan out.
No, they did not. And you never know. I mean, I thought they were well-intentioned in the moves they made, but when you get between those lines, sometimes it just doesn't come together as you had hoped, and that clearly was the case for Milwaukee.
Parker against Jennings. Goes back up. Jackson kicks to Gooden. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Gooden's got 6. And McDyess backs in. Slams it on the run.
Throwing it down with one hand and look easy.
Easy and fun. He just thrives on making the D look silly.
Yeah, which is something he does pretty often, Kevin.
Bogut against Duncan. There's Bogut. The shot's good. Jennings making the play. Jennings has got 3 assists now in this one.
One thing that Popovich doesn't get enough credit for is how he handles the minutes of his players. He really massages those well. He never overuses his guys over the course of the season.
So it's both teams making substitutions here. Here's Ginobili. He's got 6. Here is Novak from 20 feet out, and that one's good. Parker's got 13. Clark, that's a great point going back to Pop and the way he uses minutes with his team, his players. You know, Steve, the Spurs usually have fresh legs come playoff time.
Well, yeah, but last season it didn't help the argument. You know, normally Pop's teams have kind of eased their way through the regular season and saved it for the playoffs. But last year, they exploded to that big win total. And then they lost in the first round. They did look tight. So, I don't know, maybe a different approach for the Spurs this year.
Bucks trail by 5. Early shot attempt. Gets it to go. 10 points for Brandon Jennings. Here comes Ginobili. Here is Bonner. Working on Gooden. Ball's not loose. Gooden with the steal. Here's Red. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Now just a 1-point Spurs lead. Here's Ginobili. It's 3 corners off the mark.
You know, as tight as this game is, you have to like their chances the way they've been rebounding.
They have a pretty good margin in that department, so if they continue to hit the boards hard, it'll pay off for them in the end.
Jackson gets the bucket.
Well, that's been nice, efficient work, guys, that he's been doing. I mean, we haven't seen him take many bad shots, and that's a sign of a mature, poised player.
Guys, we're not through 3 quarters of play, but 6 lead changes already in this one.
Yeah, it's been a really good game for sure. I mean, it looks like it's going to stay tight throughout.
Yeah, very competitive action. I agree with you, Clark. I mean, this one could come down in the last few minutes the way it looked. It's amazing one player can turn the ball over so often.
Deflects the pass. Even numbers. It's stolen by Douglas Roberts. Concludes the third quarter and continues to be an exciting neck-and-neck game. It's been a clinic from Tony Parker.
Yeah, give him credit. He's been very selective with his shots, and it's paying off for him and his team.
You know, through the first 3 quarters, Steve, he's taken exactly what the defense is giving him, and he's not forced anything. I mean, that's poise that is very impressive. That's exactly how you should play the game, in my opinion.
More great action when we return. It's time for the fourth quarter and time to check in with the 4th member of our team, Doris Berger, for our Sprite Spark Report. Hi, Doris.
Hey, Kevin, well, our spark of the game goes for the Spurs for that major surge. It was lockdown defense in the second quarter that allowed them to build this lead they now enjoy. Another quarter with that kind of defensive intensity will be more than enough to close this game out, Kevin.
Okay, Doris, thank you. That run Clark really changed the complexion of this game.
Yeah, it sure did. I thought it stirred something up in them. Got them on good work.
They got the ball rolling for them, and they were able to keep it going from there.
So Duncan sitting on the bench. Here's how the floor looks for Brett Popovich. We've got Green. Players out there with Splitter. Then it's Curry. And it's Jefferson in at the point. And he pushes it through.
Enough no time there to put a little something extra on that one.
Right with the steal. The Buds trade. He goes up. And Hogan slams it in. Game winding down. They just keep changing leads.
And the Spurs were so consistent last year against tired of 21 years. Against the East, and of course, you play well against the West too.
Talk about West East. A lot of those probably glad they only have to face the Spurs. Every time the Eastern Conference
A lot of people share in the credit. A few things you get this guy who coaches teams. Defense, mindedness, fundamentals, man. That one more work for all the way off in 2010. Offense now.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Alonzo changing it up. It's checked in from Alonzo. Delfino comes in for Michael Red. It's Jensen and Christian Jackson. Doris has that big for Doris.
I would say he's able to win it. He's going over with his team. He actually led into the playoffs and we're being way too strong on the inside. They're starting to see some toughness and more competition now. No one like easy passes. Pretty strong word there.
Great things in the report, Doris. Get in and they quit possession. And go Doris. Ginobili with the ball. He's guarded by Jennings. Jennings with the steal. Bucks trail by the 3. And Bogut slams it in.
He took that one too.
Just a beautiful dunk there, Steve.
Yeah, how about the agility? Yeah, it's just the power and the skill. Impressive.
Ginobili outside. Backing him down. There's Duncan. And Bogut sends it back. But one thing we've seen from these is his excellent ball movement.
And you love to see that. I mean, I love watching unselfish play. I know Steve enjoys that.
That's the best part of the game. Five-man team game with the ball moves. So much unselfish play. Beautiful to watch. Whether there's an opening or not, this guy's going to attack the rim regardless.
There's Jennings, and it's another Milwaukee shot right there going in.
The defense got butterflies the second that shot went up because they know he typically delivers in the clutch.
Knocks it loose. And it's blocked. So it's Milwaukee. It's right on one. Blocked. But they'll get another chance. Parker outside. 6 to shoot. Parker shot, and it's perfect. Parker's got 4 points in the quarter.
Both of these teams have really stepped it up offensively.
You know what, Steve? They haven't missed a chance. I think both teams really know what's at stake in every possession here.
Richard Jefferson, he's checked in for Leonard. Michael Red's checked in for Milwaukee. Jackson comes in for Earl Boykin. Here's Red to tie it up. Good. We're all tied up at 6-7.
Oh, I like the fluidity I'm seeing from them on offense. It's just being a beauty. Fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. They're moving the ball well, finding the open man, making that extra pass. They're playing very unselfishly right now.
Here's Parker. Again, the Spurs good for 2.
And now 6 of their last 10 points from mid-range.
That jump shot really serving these guys pretty well.
Parker against Jennings. And the layup is good. Jennings has got 9 points here in the second half. There is just no way, Clark, to tell who is going to pull this one out.
You know what, Kevin? I think looking at this game, it may very well come down to one crucial key play.
Yeah, 6 lead changes so far. So which team can come up with that big play you're talking about, Clark? That's going to be interesting.
Zon Jefferson. Over Red. Blocked. Absolutely critical chance right here.
Yeah, they need this one to go their way, Kevin.
Jack's up with 3. Trifecta.
Big time shot.
Really clutch.
There's 39 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Shot's good by Jefferson.
And a 3 the other way.
Back and forth we go. Neither side giving an inch.
Jackson gets to Jennings. No one near him. Yes!
And the pace has really ramped up in the second half.
Steve, I like the re-energized effort here. I mean, it's been a battle.
Jennings against Parker. Goes up. It's in! A huge shot to tie it up.
Shooting percentage is off the charts, guys. He's really hitting his shots today.
Timeout call for Bucks. Here's Red. Jackson against Ginobili. Here's Gooden. It's good!
His eyes were wide open there, guys. Excellent vision to see they had an open shot outside and get it there.
Here's Parker. Dishes to Jefferson. Over Red. Got it! He has tied up this game. Oh, what a shot.
Kevin, that's what you expect from him. When the pressure's at its highest, with the game on the line, that's when he's at his best.
Time expires, and we're going to overtime. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. Extra time just about to get started here with the jump ball coming up. The Spurs making a switch here. Leonard's checked in. The Bucks get the tip to begin overtime. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. On the court for the Bucks, Drew Gooden and Andrew Bogut, they're inside. Steven Jackson is out there with Jennings. And it's Red in at the 3 slot. Fires for 3. And again, it's the Spurs from deep. Here is Jennings. He's picked up by Parker. The alley-oop pass. Great communication on the alley-oop. And the Spurs lead by 3.
Superb feed there, young fella.
It really was perfect setup for the lay-in.
Now he just managed to float the ball up there.
Here is Jennings. He passes to Jackson. Straight up, right through the knee for the layup. Jackson's got 27 points. Ginobili outside. There's the triple. Gets it to go.
Well, you have to play him tough. He's just too good.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. They trail by 4. We've got 1:55 left in overtime. Here's Jennings. Steven Jackson on the wing. Count it! And he'll have a chance for a three-point play. It's going to be on Antonio McDyess.
Jackson doing all kinds of things. He has 29 points, and he's drained 4 3-pointers here as well.
There's more to come, maybe. The way his shot looks tonight, it's like he's in for a big night.
Here's Ginobili. Guarded by Jackson. Ginobili, the pass to Leonard. Fires from the wing. That falls. Nice lead that time for Manu Ginobili. Leonard's got 7 points here in this quarter. Parker against Jennings. It's right outside, and that one's good. We're now all tied up at 86.
Little slow on the defensive rotation there.
Duncan dishes to Ginobili. Tipped. Led with the steal. And it's Milwaukee's ball. It's stolen by Duncan. And they call goaltender. They'll give him the bundle. Richard Jefferson. He's checked in for the Spurs. Here's Jackson. 1:05 left in the first overtime. Action has been terrific. Uncovered. Count it. And tie game. That is a huge basket right there.
That time he found a gap in the defense to turn that one into a very easy jump shot, a warm-up jumper, if you will.
Jackson against Ginobili. And Ginobili slams it home. Replay here. Strikes onto him, showing it once more.
So hard. Stop Ginobili right now.
Clark, a critical possession right here.
Boy, Kevin, you can just feel the crowd on pins and needles right now.
Shot from the top of the key, and another basket for Milwaukee.
Guys, he's one of the main reasons this game is tied up. I mean, he's done his part to keep them in.
Here's Duncan. It's good.
Guys, he's got the length to get to the rim, and when he gets there, you never see a clumsy or awkward finish out of him. Everything is smooth and fluid.
Here's Jennings. Covered by Parker. Jennings against Parker. Clock at 6. It's good. This game is all even. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. Here's Parker. Jefferson with the 3. Bullseye!
They need to get a 3 here to stay alive.
Lets it go. No good. And so it's San Antonio who scraped by with the win. You know, Clark, they couldn't put him away in regulation, but after a superb performance in overtime, they managed to get the job done.
Yeah, just an amazing game, but they pulled away at the end.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see you next time. And now, our Jordan Player of the Game, Tony Parker.